Most people do not fail at YouTube because they are lazy. They are failing because they do not get this one thing. I had one client who spent over a year trying YouTube automation by himself. He invested hundreds of dollars into this, so much time, and the only thing he had to show for was $50 totally made in that 1 year. He did get monetized, but he still had low views, no traction, and he felt completely stuck. Then we changed this one thing, and within 30 days, he got monetized, and the channel even did so well that in his first month of being monetized, he made over $4,000 from AdSense revenue. So if you are struggling to get momentum with your Faceless channel, this one problem might be the thing for you too. And this video might save you months of wasted time. So first of all, let me explain the situation a little bit, because this is Jeremy's story. How he went from struggling for over 1 year to making over $4,000 a month from his Faceless YouTube channels for multiple months, and now having made close to $100,000 in a single year from Faceless YouTube. I had been talking to Jeremy on Facebook DM for quite some time, and he was always the kind of guy that was like, let me try this myself first and see where I can get with it. So he took some he was watching some free YouTube videos, he was launching channels, he was testing this, and then sometimes would ask me for advice. But he was always like, I want to try it myself first, and then I would be open to buying courses or doing coaching and all that kind of stuff. So he got like an A for effort for wanting to try it himself. But where the real problem came in is that even though he watched different YouTube channels and free content and watched some strategies and followed this, he was very confused on what kind of channels to actually start, what is working, what is not working, how to make it look pretty, and how to get viewers and grow consistently and monetize it. Everyone always aims for that moment where you have your channel monetized, but monetization means nothing if you are not getting any views on your channel, because the views is what's gonna bring in the money. So yeah, he reached a level where he was monetized and made $50, but that was after spending 1 full year. So when he finally came to me, where he was about to give up YouTube automation, he showed me his channel, and I initially immediately saw that it was a niche and format problem that he was having. He was going on too long in one specific niche and format that just was not getting momentum. And this is something that a lot of people get stuck on. They keep trying something that is not working. And yeah, I don't know why this is, but I've seen this with many people before. A lot of people get emotionally stuck with their first channel. So they start one YouTube channel with one Gmail address and they test one niche, and they keep doing that for like 4, 5, 6 months or even longer, even though if it's not working, even though the momentum is not going up. And yeah, some people preach that you have to give YouTube time, but in my belief and the way I test channels following my 5M systems, I tell people test 15 videos within 1 month. If it's working and getting momentum, scale it up. If it's not, cut it and go on to the next one. Do not get emotionally attached and just focus on testing a lot very quick, because yeah, that is just what I see bringing the best results. Testing many channels, many niches, and not being stuck to one for too long. If you get stuck to one channel for too long, you might spend 6 to 8 months testing something, and if it doesn't work, you can start over. But this way you do not have the speed, enough speed to really test things and see what is working out there and what isn't. Because as we have seen from Jeremy's story too, once we started working together and I explained him a little bit how to find supply and demand and better niches and how to package this, he got monetized in 3 weeks, and the next month he was making over $4,000 a month. So just keep this in mind. Do not get emotionally stuck to your first channel, and follow a system, a strategy of testing, how many videos and what are the numbers you are looking at to cut something or scale something. And don't just hope that at one day your channel will get better. So there's basically 3 problems that Jeremy had and that he stayed stuck in. So first of all, again, it was the niche and the format. He was trying for over 8 months to make one channel and one niche and one format work, but it just didn't work. And if you realize it, I know it sucks to invest time and money into a channel and into videos, but if it's not working, you just have to move on and let it go and test something new, because you will just keep on digging your own grave more and more the longer you stay in a non-working niche, because you spend more time and more money, and it gets harder and harder to let go of that channel once you do this. Now, on top of this is basically number 2, is he had no proper system. So he didn't have a proper testing system. He did not have rules to to systemize his process of like, okay, I have found this niche in this format. I'm going to test these amount of videos in this amount of time. And then I'm going to cut it or scale it depending on the numbers it is doing and the views I'm getting and maybe the subscribers I'm getting. If you do not have a system for testing channels like this is the problem or that will happen. You will be like Jeremy and get stuck to one channel for too long, hoping it will get better if you make all these little changes. But usually, if you do not get momentum, like a certain amount of a momentum in the first 15 videos or first 2 months of your channel, you probably want to either switch up the niche completely, the format, or you just want to cut it and start a new channel. And this was his second problem. He did not have a testing system and a scaling system. He was just winging it. He was watching random YouTube videos from different people, and he was just confused on what to do and what the next step were for him. Now, the third issue was that he had no proper feedback system. He was the only one looking at his channel and at his videos, but because he never had a successful Faceless YouTube channel before, he had a hard time giving himself feedback on what is working and what is not working and what he should do next. Sure, he reached out to me in the DM on Facebook a few times asking me some questions, but until you have someone that has been where you want to go and that has more experience in this case with this like online business, it is very hard for a lot of people to move on and analyze something properly. It is also hard for a lot of people to find formats and niches that are good to start in and grow in if you have no idea if this is a good niche or if this is a saturated niche or if this is a niche that was very popular 6 months ago but now is completely dried up. So yeah, a lot of people understand how to find a niche and how to look for niches, but they do not know the sort of like inside market knowledge if something is even a good idea to get started with, or if it's smart to still get into, because maybe it's dried up, maybe it's saturated, maybe it's a niche that has a very low RPM, maybe it's a niche with very high competition, maybe it's a niche that has very high production quality videos. So there's a lot of like variables that you have to be careful with starting YouTube automation, especially if you are on a specific budget every single month. There's a lot of things that you have to avoid to make this work or increase your chances of success. So to repeat, basically, it's like his three main problems were picking the wrong niche in the format, not having a testing system, and then also not having a proper feedback system on what is good or bad to continue in and what to change and when to change niches. So how did we help Jeremy going from this stuck situation, not getting any money from his Faceless YouTube channel, to making over $4,000 a month for multiple months and even way higher months than that? So again, there was three problems. So there was three main core issues that we had to change for him. First of all, the niche and the format problem. So Jeremy was in a niche that is just not a good niche. It was very saturated. It's a niche that all the beginner YouTube automation people get into. It's something very generic that has been done hundreds of times before. So this is just not a very good starting ground for a market. And this is where most people get stuck with. They watch a YouTube video or an Instagram carousel about the top 10 best niches to get started with in March 2026. And these videos are very good to ideate and get creative on what is working and what is not working. But if you are blindly one-on-one copying one of these niches that probably hundreds or thousands of other people have seen and also have tested, you're probably going to get stuck because these niches just get flooded by beginners. And there's also market leaders in those niches already that are ahead of you. So the first thing that I worked on with Jeremy is how to do proper niche research and find formats to test for your channels, which tools to use, how to understand supply and demand, and how to make like a calculated decision based on proper numbers on what niche and what format to get into. Understanding how to find these niches is basically the bread and butter of YouTube automation. And even though it's kind of like the same repeatable system, like how to actually find it, so many people still struggle with it because they do not understand what works in the market this month or this year, what worked in the past, what is saturated right now, and what is still a good opportunity to do. People unfortunately just love to get lazy and one-on-one copy other people. So they copy a concept that is working, but they don't understand why it's working and how to repeat that in a new and unique way so that YouTube sees it as a fresh market that they will push to new viewers. And yeah, this is a very hard concept to grasp when you're new, but again, it is the most important thing, because if you find a market that has high demand and low supply, so there's a lot of people that want to watch your videos, but there's not a lot of channels pushing these videos yet, you are so much easier to get pushed into the algorithm by YouTube, because YouTube sees that there's not hundreds of other channels making the exact same video titles. Now, the second thing is the testing strategy that you have to approach. So I've been implementing this thing called the 5M system, where I show you exactly how to like find markets, the mindset behind finding a market, and then also how to test these markets. So what I like to do is do one channel, one niche, one format for like 15 videos, see how your impressions and views are doing, and if there's like if YouTube is pushing your channel, and then making calculated decisions if I want to continue with more videos to test a little bit more angles, or if I cut it off and let it go. And the reason this is so important is because this way you actually work towards those 10 or 15 videos, you see how it's doing, and then without emotions involved, you make a decision whether you continue or not. And this way you test one channel in 1 month or 1.5 months, and you don't get stuck to it for 4, 5, 6 months and waste time not testing other niches. There is enough niches out there, there's enough undiscovered niches out there. So it would be unfortunate if you spend 6 months doing one single channel and it doesn't work. In that time, you could have tested 6, 7, 8 other niches and potentially found a winner and broke through with it. Now, the third thing is, of course, feedback loops and feedback. Now, I'm not gonna tell you or force you to get into a course or a coaching program, but I am telling you, if you are a beginner trying to make this work, try to find one person that you listen to and understand his system, his way of doing things, his style of launching and testing channels and analyzing them. Because if you're not following one system with feedback from one person, it just gets very hard for you to make something work, because you are just confused on how this all works, which numbers you should be looking at, which niches you should be looking at. And yeah, if you have no feedback whatsoever, then it's just very hard to make this work by yourself. There is a lot of people with more experience than you running Faceless YouTube channels. There's a lot of people that are running channels already. And if you join a community or a coaching program, there are so many people that you can get inputs from of what not to do, what to look at, and how to approach this. And you can also see like successful or winning channels and niches that you can get inspiration from. So my biggest advice to you is join one of these somewhere, doesn't matter from who, as long as the person is legit, and follow that one system to make it work and try to get feedback from these people. Quick shameless plug, I have a completely free YouTube automation community called the Faceless Tuber School. You can join it in the link in the description. It's a 5-day free challenge. You can join, no strings attached, no upsells. Only if you want more one-on-one contact from me, there's option for that. So click the link in the description to join my free community and join other people building and starting YouTube automation channels. Now, to repeat myself, Jeremy went from having to move from Australia back to his parents' house in Geneva, Switzerland, working a 9-to-5 job. He started his YouTube automation channel on the side and went from working this job and only making $50 in 1 year with YouTube automation to making over 4, 6, and 1 month even $15,000 from his YouTube automation channel after implementing these systems. So just remember that when you are starting YouTube automation, it's not easy, but if you follow the right systems and put in the effort, this is all possible. Now, if you want to see the in-depth video of how I helped Jeremy do this, I actually recorded a 30 or 40 minute client testimonial video with Jeremy that you can watch by clicking the link in the description or the pinned comment. And yeah, if you are starting your YouTube automation business or want to launch it, or you are stuck not getting any views just like Jeremy was, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I give weekly free YouTube automation advice. And again, I also have my free YouTube automation community. I would love to see you in there. And if this got you curious to how I actually launch and test channels with my 5M system, you can watch the video in screen right here, and then I break it down completely for you.